Go ahead.
It is August 21st, 9 o'clock. August 21st, 9 o'clock. We'll call the Wright County Board of Commissioners to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Minutes from the County Board meeting of August 14th.
Carol, move the minutes from last week.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Hewson, second by Commissioner Potter. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Review and approval of agenda. I understand we have a couple of things we need to add.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I would like to add the Budget Committee of the Whole schedule to make one change on that. Also to discuss Government Center design kickoff and Owners Committee for that project.
Items for consideration C and D then.
Very well.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the agenda with the 2 additions.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Burrell. Any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Consent agenda. Before we get started here, item E we're going to pull for further discussion. County Attorney would like to talk at length about it, I guess.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda with the item E removed for discussion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Burrell, second by Commissioner Hewson. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Mr. Assistant County Attorney.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, thank you for removing that item. I was not aware that it had ended up on the consent agenda but until yesterday, but I thought there was a little explanation involved because, as you see from what's in your packet, we've already entered into this agreement, this grant agreement, we meaning the County Attorney's Office. We'll be receiving funds and actually passing them through to a contractor that's working with our office on this. And so John Bowen from our office is here. He's intimately involved in this. I thought it might be good just to have a short explanation of what we're doing here.
Sounds good.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I'm John Bowen from County Attorney's Office. As you know, you might have seen in the media, sexual trafficking, sexual exploitation issues. They've been covered in the media pretty extensively over the last couple of years. And unfortunately, it's an issue that really Wright County is not immune to. We've seen issues in Wright County involving sexual exploitation of children. So really there's been a statewide effort over the last, 4 or 5 years in a passage of what's called safe harbor laws. And it basically, a safe harbor law says that a juvenile that's engaged in the act of what's termed prostitution under Minnesota statute cannot be prosecuted as a delinquent or as a criminal, and thus needs to be treated as a victim survivor of abuse. So there have been stepped up enforcement, there's been money put in through the state, and there was a grant offered to different communities throughout the state to be one of 5 pilot sites. And we applied, my office applied along with Buffalo Police Department and Human Services to be one of the 5 pilot sites to develop a protocol, guidelines for law enforcement response, for social worker, human services response. These are kind of unique situations, unique cases involving high-risk youth. So we really need a delicate approach to handling these situations, and we need the training of our law enforcement and our social workers in handling these cases. So we applied for a grant. We were awarded $14,500 from the Minnesota Department of Health and the Minnesota Coalition Against Sexual Assault, also known as MNCASA. So anyway, I think we're in a pretty special position, actually, in Wright County. The other sites were Hennepin County, Ramsey County, Goodhue County. There's a collaborative from the southwest part of the state. So what we're going to be doing here, and we've already kicked it off, Commissioner Hewsome was present at our team orientation on Friday. And what we're doing is what we are, we're getting together members from Human Services, law enforcement, healthcare, from the schools, obviously my office, and we're all kind of contributing to this and working with Chuck Derry, who is from the Gender Violence Institute, and he'll be serving as kind of the lead writer on this initiative, and that's essentially where a lot of, I think, the funds are going to be going to. So the reason I'm coming before you today is to explain this to you. This is at no cost to the taxpayer, but we do have to expend the funds to seek reimbursement, and that's kind of what the way the contract is written. So I just want to wanted to explain that to you. We've had a great community response already. I can just tell you, I go to the Safe Schools meetings. People are saying, "Hey, I heard about some kind of grant. What's going on with this?" So people are excited in the community. And so, we're right up there with all these different counties, and we're really in a position to serve as a leader throughout the state. And I think that that's really unique for us and really exciting. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Chris, you have the book there?
This was a Safe Harbor Protocol Guidelines from the Ramsey County Attorney's Office, so it's a rather large document. What do you say, 300 pages? Yeah. But
so Ramsey County's already done theirs?
Right. So this is, as Mr. Bowen was saying, we'll be writing these protocols for Wright County, and they said different agencies have, smaller documents, some just a few pages. It can be, but certainly this is a great guide, I think, to refer to and look at when you're writing those protocols. But there was a large group on Friday at the kickoff orientation. Was there 30 people there?
I think 25 to 30 people. I was expecting only 17 people to come.
Yep.
And so we had even more people. And I had people emailing me and saying, "Can I come? Can I be a part of this?" And I mean, I don't know. In my experience in government, I don't have too many people who are asking to be on committees.
Wanted to be on a committee, but yeah. So we had representatives from the police departments, 2 of the police departments in Wright County, and plus, our Human Services and Sheriff's Office. And so, yeah, it was a great, a lot of good ideas, and we did a little what do you call it, scenario. So so working together on that, it was a great day.
Yeah, it was.
Mr. Chair, so what are the $14,500 funds going to be? Like, what are qualifying? What can we use it for? I mean, like staff time to write the protocols? Is that pretty much what it's going to be?
Yeah. I mean, we can use it for some training. The thing is I think we're going to get a lot of technical support from the Department of Health and from MNCASA. I'm able to do the training, free of cost. The Sheriff's Office, they have an in-service, and I've done in-service trainings for them before. So, I'd be doing a lot of the training myself. It's but to answer your question, it pretty much is to pay the lead writer because everybody's busy, and that's kind of what we needed. Is we just needed somebody to say, "Hey, look, can you help us write this?" Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, John.
So, Mr. Chair, what I'm asking actually is 2 action items. One is we do not receive the grant funds until we've spent money. We do not have this in our budget, so I'd like to ask the board to approve expenditures from professional services with the condition that we're going to be reimbursed every dollar that we spend. And then the second action item would be acceptance of the grant. Like I said, we've already entered into the agreement, but there is a statute that calls for the board to take action when we accept any grants or gifts, so.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So made.
Second.
And this is for expending the funds.
Expending the funds, yep.
Coming out of professional services to be reimbursed after the fact.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Vetch, second by Commissioner Potter. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept the grant from Department of Health and CASA. Is it from the two places that we're getting?
That's probably the best way to put it, yes.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Houston, second by Commissioner Vetch to accept the grant of $14,500, was it?
Yes.
Is there any other discussions?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Brian, John, I want to thank you for doing this because we owe it to the children of Wright County to protect them, from this. And this, to me, is money well spent on our part. Thank you.
Any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Virgil Hawkins.
Good morning, Chairman and Board of Commissioners. I have two items today for your consideration. The first one is to approve a resolution of final acceptance for the Highway 35 and 134 roundabout. It was constructed in 2016. It sometimes takes a while to get these finalized out. We have to wait for paperwork from the contractor, and this was had federal money involved. But we did finally get everything back, so we're here to close it out. And there's a resolution involved too.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the final acceptance of CASA 35-134 roundabout project.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Houston. Is there any other discussions regarding the resolution?
Just that I'll be voting against it just because it has a 55 coming into it. Otherwise, I like roundabouts if they're in a slower speed zone. That's it.
Mr. Chair, can I
Yeah, go ahead.
comment on?
Yeah.
Commissioner Burrell,
Yes.
tell me why you think that, as opposed to coming to a four-way stop in a 55?
Because if you are coming up down the road and you see a stop sign, it's way more visible than coming up 55 miles an hour for somebody that's new on the road. If they know it's there, it's going to be no problem. But down on Highway 7, I can't think of how many people got killed on that one, driving down Highway 7 55 miles an hour and fly right over the hill and roll and whatever. I think once you put up a roundabout instead of a stop sign, they'll just get oblivious. So we'll see how it works. I could be wrong.
How many people were killed on Highway 7 when there was four-way stop there?
I don't know that.
I don't think there was a four-way stop. I think it was just a two-way stop.
It was just two-way, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just two-way.
But
there probably were people that pulled out in front of cars too. So.
Oh, yeah, there were.
But
All right.
It seems like it gets the old and elderly, and I'm getting there pretty soon. So I got to be more sensitive to that generation.
well, they do have really nice little roundabout signs warning people that roundabout is in front of them. So yeah.
Commissioner Potter?
Aye.
A nay.
Aye.
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 Resolution carries 4-1.
I figured it would go down that way.
Okay, thank you. The next item we have is we're recommending award of the Woodland Township Bridge Replacement Project. We received bids on August 7th. An abstract of bids is attached, and a recommendation for award from Erickson Engineering, the engineering company for Woodland Township, to award contract 1811 to Landwehr Construction in the amount of $408,292.30.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to award the Woodland Township Bridge replacement to Landwehr Construction of St. Cloud in the amount of $408,292.30.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Vetch, second by Commissioner Burrell. Is there any other discussions regarding the bridge? Commissioner Potter?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Virgil, this is the one on 60th Street. Is that the one that's just north of Highway 12, just
Yes.
west of Waverly a little bit?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure I knew exactly which one it was.
Commissioner Burrell?
No, I'm just curious too. So it's going not under Gowan, it's going under 60th.
60th.
So after it, because it goes under Gowan first and then it goes under 60th, right?
I think so.
It makes a little curve there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That is a huge culvert, and it's down, that's why it's so expensive. It's down probably 20, 25 feet from the top of the road, I think, so, yeah.
So it's actually just a big culvert that's being replaced?
Like a 48 inches.
It is. It's a 16 by 11 precast concrete box
It
culvert.
must be about 100 feet long too then, huh?
It is 62, about 98 feet long.
Yeah?
Good guess.
Pretty good guess, huh?
Good, real good guess.
All right, any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Virgil. Ms. Sue Virgin, Assistant County Coordinator.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. As you recall, earlier in August, we held a committee of the whole, and one of the topics was the front reception area. And at that time, we were authorized to go ahead and seek volunteers. We were successful. We have 4 volunteers. One actually is in a mayor, Connie Holmes, that you know. And then we have a former employee here that used to work up in the recorder's office, and then 2 other Wright County residents that are very interested in providing their time. We're keeping, we're going to continue to advertise if we move forward with this, so we'd like to have a little larger pool. But based on their availability of time, these 4 have indicated, I believe that we can provide coverage a majority of the time at the front desk. What we'd like to do is identify the busiest times and then make sure that we try to cover those times. When the front desk isn't covered, we do have the kiosk signage, and we're also looking at putting up laminated signs showing where the locations of the various buildings are. We're working on, if you choose to move forward with this, putting together FAQs so that if they want to know, okay, where do I go get my driver's license? Here's where you need to go, and those types of things. What are the most things they're coming in here for, so we can get them directed when there's not that front person. We do believe when there's not a person there that they will be drawn to the signage, but we're going to try to reduce that by covering that front desk. What we would proceed to do, if you approve this today, we would offer training within the first 2 weeks of September. We would be working with the Auditor Treasurer's Office and their staff to provide that training. And then if this is approved, one of the things that have been talked about at the Committee of the Whole, by utilizing volunteers at the front reception desk, this would allow the Auditor Treasurer's Office to move an OT1 down to their License Bureau, and this would allow us to utilize the paid resources in a more beneficial and cost-effective manner. So with that, we're just simply looking to see if we have the authorization to proceed forward.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to authorize the use of volunteers at the front reception desk.
And moving of the OT1. You want to move the OT1 too?
Yeah, and with the rest of it, if.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Burrell. Is there any discussions?
Go ahead, Chris, first.
I was going to say, yeah, thank you so much for thinking of this. This was a great idea and got some response, and maybe if each one of us can share it on our Facebook page and get some more, generate some more interest, and
Absolutely.
you know, I put it on my Facebook page and had some questions, so yeah, it's just get the word out there and let people know we've got this, because like you said, there's a lot of people that love to get out and do some volunteer work, and I mean, this is a fun place. I mean, you can help all kinds of people in this, you know, building when they come in and ask where they need to be. So, yeah. So thank you for thinking of that.
I agree totally with Commissioner Hewsom's comments, but then I would also like to have us maybe have Lee or you come up with a sign that would be out there to say that that's a volunteer position to helping you out, and you could also be a volunteer, something like that. Because they have that at a lot of the hospitals. You know you're going in, you're dealing with a volunteer, and they encourage other people to join up. So I don't think we'd have to authorize spending. It's a pretty small amount. I don't think it would be $100 or $200 for the sign. So, but I'd like to see that too. Okay. Thank you, Sue.
And I know one of your thoughts too was that you're going to put a map at the front desk.
Yes.
When there is nobody there, which I think that'll be very helpful for the residents.
And we'll make sure that the phone that rings there too, when there isn't somebody there, is set up appropriately to get them to where they need to go as well.
Yeah.
So would the volunteer then be answering the phone and
Yes, they
forwarding it to?
will be answering the
So
phone.
that's what the training would mostly be
Yes.
for? Okay.
That I'm sure also so they know where
Well-
everything is
Right.
too in the county.
Yeah.
Will you let us know when the training is? I wouldn't mind going through it because.
Just in case.
Well, no, I mean, I like being out there and helping people out. when,
Got
you know.
another volunteer.
Yep, I agree.
I think what I would do is, I mean, but yeah, because there's sometimes when I come over, if I'm reading through something, I could just as well read it out there. I think the rest of the board could too. So I'm not saying I would want to get on a schedule, but if there's nobody there, I'll just fill in, so. Thank you.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the great idea, Sue. It's all you.
Yeah.
Items for consideration, Committee of the Whole. Coordinator Kelly, would you take that, please?
Sure. Committee of the Whole met on August 14th. All commissioners, members of the committee were there. Doug Host from Clifton Larson Allen was here to present our exit of our audit that they provided for the 2017 budget year. As required by audit standards, the board has also provided the governance letter in addition to reviewing the PowerPoint. Doug went over our financial statements and all things went smooth with the audit and commended our staff for being friendly and cooperative. The county received an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, which means that the 2017 CAFR, or Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, has been determined to be material correct in all aspects. There were no internal control weaknesses or significant deficiencies identified. Ho said that having no findings in internal control is rare. It's a reflection that Wright County has policies and procedures that are in place and operating efficiency. There's a review of the county's federal single audit findings and discussion regarding the correction of those findings. And then we just had some discussion about Clifton Larson Allen and the services they offer.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 14th Committee of the Whole.
Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Vetch, second by Commissioner Houston. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Bob, did you have anything that you wanted to add? I wasn't sure you were going to be here today. To the audit exit? Okay.
Again, I think we addressed the fund balance. There were appropriate fund balance.
Okay. All righty. Reschedule the September 12th committee meetings due to the AMC fall policy. Is there any particular dates you were thinking about?
Do we have any other times left, or?
Well, this wouldn't be September, so instead
You
of
want to
the
move it back a
12th.
week to the 19th, or what do you
Or
think?
Yom Kippur.
Or you want to do it on the 11th after board?
We do have 2 ditch public hearings.
I got extension
Oh,
and
yeah.
10:30,
transportation workshop
11:15.
that's not working.
I could do the 10th. Monday's pretty wide open, unless you want to.
HHS in the morning, which would be fine.
You mean in the
There's
after
that
1:30?
community dental invite, right?
Yeah, it's in the morning, 9
Could we
o'clock.
do the following Wednesday, the 19th? We have owners committee at 1 o'clock, but we could do it in the morning. Mike, does that work for you?
Yeah, that works here.
The 19th, is that going to cause some issues with things that are coming up?
Oh, I won't be here. I'll be at that Midwest Regional Lab training from 9 to 3:30 that day.
Then how about the 18th after board meeting?
I got WCAT at 2 o'clock.
And I got WCAT and library board.
What was the first?
So
was
what
the
time is
10th?
that? What time is that dental thing on the 10th?
9 o'clock,
And how long is it?
a couple hours.
Where's that at? That's here, isn't it? At HHS, isn't
Yep.
it?
Could you do it at 11 or?
On the 10th?
10th would work for me.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot.
A lot of committee?
Well, no, maybe not. I don't know. Do we know what we have set up at this point?
We just referred an item today regarding the review of the teleworks program. That'll be on there. I don't recall that there's a department head review for that date.
They haven't sent anything out yet, so there shouldn't be that.
Yep.
And
Just trying to think of the usual items.
we wouldn't have technology, so.
Did the 17th not work for folks?
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter for me because the odds are they're not having a technology meeting, at least at this point. Unless there would be a follow-up from the ERP kickoff, which
Could be, but
Could
I
be.
don't know that that couldn't necessarily wait till the end of the month.
So the 17th, Chris?
Yeah, I was just asking about the 17th.
17th works for me.
Well, again, right now, all we have is for personnel. So we could always put in a different date once we find out more for building or ways and means or any of
wanna
that
wait
sort of
and
stuff.
set it
And,
next
you
week?
know, if we can do it on the 10th at 11 o'clock perhaps, you know,
Let's,
that might be,
at this point,
They'll
since
be in the
it's just
same week then?
since it's just personnel,
okay. Shall we schedule the personnel for 11 o'clock on the 10th?
I think we should do that. Since that's all we have at this point, but if more comes up, then we can look
can-
at those committee members and see what works for them.
okay.
Okay?
Sound fair?
So
we're
we'll just hold that time for committees in general.
On the
The
17th.
11th on, excuse me, at 11 o'clock on the 10th.
Yeah.
That's the date.
September 10th at 11 o'clock. All right.
I'll make a motion to set the committee date for September 10th at 11 o'clock.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Houston, second by Commissioner Browl. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Budget Committee, revisions. Coordinator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We met yesterday with several departments regarding the budget. One of those departments was Road and Bridge. We typically schedule multiple meetings with them. However, yesterday we got through the entirety of their budget. What I'd like to do is that August 29th, we had scheduled another Road and Bridge meeting at 10 a.m. Since we've gotten through their budget, I'd like to move up the remaining personnel requests and issues an hour earlier, as I think we might need some more time, and I know there are some conflicts with commissioner schedules later in that day.
I'll
So
make a motion
That's
to
the
make
only
that
change.
change by moving the remaining position requests from 11 a.m. on the 29th to 10 a.m. on the 29th.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Vetch, second by Commissioner Potter for changing the committee of the budget of the whole. Any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Committee of the whole regarding the new building out at the LEC and the Justice Center.
So, Mr. Chair, I was contacted by Bruce Schwartzman. This is actually regarding a new, we haven't had a title, administration or whatever, government building. He would like to schedule a kickoff meeting for that on the 30th of this month. So I don't know if the board is interested in doing that as a committee of the whole, or just simply as an owners committee, or if not attending or what. So I guess two questions. Is this committee of the whole, or is this just going to be the owners committee? Secondly, are we scheduling or creating a new owners committee for this project, or are we going to maintain the same one that we use for the Justice Center?
Different.
I agree. And I think it should be committee of the whole.
I agree, it should be committee of the whole, because at this point, I mean,
It needs to be.
we needs to be, yeah.
Yeah, this is too important.
Yeah. What time are they thinking that day?
So he has proposed early 8:30 to noon.
On which date?
Items to, excuse me?
On what date?
Thursday, the 30th of
30th.
August.
Well, I will be out because I have had to move our Trailblazer meeting to that day, so we have some hot items to discuss, so I will be out, so.
In the morning?
Yeah, from 9 until about 11. I could meet after 12:30. Just because the drive time take me about 12:30.
It didn't work for the 29th, or he didn't propose that in the afternoon?
He didn't. I apologize, it's a lot of moving parts. I got this after hours
Yeah.
yesterday, and Alan's
I
trying to
can't do the
coordinate with
29th.
departments
Can't do
as
the
well.
29th.
So,
So 1 o'clock, you'd be good to go.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie's out for the 30th. Or, you said you're.
29th.
29th to go. I can do 1 o'clock on the 30th if you can make the afternoon work.
possibly.
Possibly.
It's hard for me to respond. Alan
Right.
and I have been
Well-
moving parts all morning.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, Coordinator Kelly, shall we set it
Tentatively?
And then if we need to cancel, at least it'd be on the.
Or, I mean, you guys are getting, I can even probably get back here by noon if you want, if you've had helps, you can let me know. I mean, I'll
The
go at noon
30th?
or 1, because, I mean, I can ditch out of that meeting a little early. I can get the things I need to get covered on the
1
front
o'clock
side.
would be fair, because I don't want you speeding on the way home and
Sure.
getting in trouble with the law.
Should I send Bruce a text and see if noon works, or?
He was thinking it was going to be the bulk of the morning. He wanted to cover the debrief of the facilities they tour, kind of put some goals to the project, service delivery strategies, and project priorities. So I think it'd be good to have the board there. I don't know if we can get all. It'd be nice to do it in that morning just for the scheduling piece of it, but if you're looking at afternoon, he was planning to have meetings here in the afternoon. We could potentially do a flip-flop.
Well, if he's planning on being here, then, yeah, let's tentatively set it for the afternoon, and hopefully he can make it work and flip-flop everything around.
You want to start at noon?
Whatever you guys want to do, noon or
Let's-
1.
let's-
I want to make sure
let's
Derek
do
has
it 1
enough time to
o'clock.
get back safely
What?
from Glencoe.
Let's do 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, he's got to,
Everybody else, it works for him on the afternoon, the 30th, correct?
Yep. Thank you
But
very
he's
much
thinking
for-
like a 3.5-hour meeting?
Several hours, yes.
Maybe you guys want to start it at 12:30 or even, because just to
That
make
might
sure.
be-
I think, just so we get ourselves,
That might be better for
okay.
my schedule.
I can make sure I'll make, it without, if I have to leave the meeting a few minutes early, so.
So
12:30.
12:30?
Yep. Because that's one of those days where you gotta be another place at 4 o'clock, so
Yeah,
it's.
yeah. So it'll be better for you at 12:30.
Yep,
You want to do 12:30 then?
yep.
All right, can I get a motion?
So move to, motion to set a committee of the whole on August 30th at 12:30 regarding the kickoff of the new, whatever building you want to call it, the
Second,
Lee Kelly Center.
Admin.
interpretive center.
All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Vetch and a second by Commissioner Hewsome. Is there any other discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Oh my God.
All righty. Advisory Committee, Advisory Board updates. Commissioner Burrell?
Just had a great time down at Cokato at the Corn Carnival and Montrose last weekend. My town celebrations are all done now for the year, so
Yeah,
that's all I had.
all right. Well, I was at the Midwest Regional Crime Lab meeting last Tuesday, and one thing that is kind of exciting is they've got a portal update and evidence intake software now that's going to help expedite taking in the evidence, so they can pre-log in the evidence and then they can just drop it off. So that's going to save a lot of staff time, and Wright County as the first one actually to come on board with this. So that's pretty exciting. And we did pass our budget, and we have a copy of that in our budget packet also. That's anything else to add, Brian? I mean, yeah.
The portal thing is a big time saver. I mean, they
That was that was really exciting.
Employees might wait 2 hours while
Right.
log in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now it can be done online.
Yep.
And they just drop off.
Yep. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting for everyone.
The budget, did it go up much at all?
Not too much. Let's see, what was the percentage?
23.11%.
Yeah. It's, no, well, now our population is factored in because they can take now the 2017, not population usage, with the population. So we're now at 19. It really hasn't changed significantly. It's pretty close, down a little bit, 19.48%. So our portion of that is $390,293.
And where is that compared to last year?
I think it's
Slightly.
up is it
Slightly.
up slightly. Seemed like it was 85, 385. I should have looked at that, but I didn't. So in that,
I know it's in our budget books too.
yeah, it's in our budget books. And then I was also at the Wright County Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council, and a little bit of talk about the opioid SHIP grant that Wright County Public Health received, one of 2 statewide SHIP grants on opioid prevention, and so that's a good thing. And after the I-94 crash last week, when I-94 was closed for 6 hours, they had many more people sign up for the RightNet alerts. So people, go in and get signed up for that. It was for former Everbridge, but now it's known as RightNet. So you can go on to rightnet.com, get your phone numbers in there. So if something like that happens, you'll get the alert.
And that they can do right through our county website. There's a link on there.
Yep, there's a link on there. So people can,
And for any type of emergency, it's good to have your
yes.
info in there because nobody has,
Right.
very few people have home phones, and your cell phone needs to get entered in order for it to be on there.
And even your home phone. So, yeah, so if something like that happens, I mean, for you to get the alert, if you're on your way there, you're planning to go, wherever, and a road is closed because, it's flooded over or something, it's good to get those alerts. And also, the Albertville Fire Department is having a memorial dedication ceremony. They're going to be unveiling 4 memorial stones, which will recognize the fire department, all previous members who served over 10 years, all previous members who have served over 20 years, and the previous chiefs on the fire department. And that is Sunday, September 9th at 3 p.m. at the Albertville Fire Department. So that's something to put on your calendars if you're available. And as Mr. Bowen said, we had the Safe Harbor team orientation, which was great. And if any of you were at the Beatles concert in 1965, it was on this date. I heard on KRWC on the way here. And it was at the old Met Stadium, the only time that the Beatles performed in Minneapolis. So I was one of the 4,000 people there. I was mentioning the tickets were $3.50, $4.50, and $5.50. I paid a little more than that to see Paul McCartney.
Do you remember it just like it was yesterday?
Pretty much, but I mean, I was young, so it's like, oh, these girls screaming all around me. It's like, no, I just want to hear the Beatles, And they were out on, I mean, it seems like it was third base or so, out in the field, and it was pretty exciting. But yeah.
I was a little too young to go
I know.
that time. My mom and dad wouldn't let me.
So I thought I knew most of the Beatles songs by then, but I heard for the first time, and I think my memory is a little off because I think it was Paperback Writer, but but then I think, well, maybe it was Day Trippers. So that was it was a song I'd never heard before when they played, and so that was kind of exciting, but that's all.
Was it back of the songs when they played in Germany before they became famous or after they became famous?
It was after,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
East side thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Last week I was at Wright County Community Action. Wright County Community Action, again, is the group that does the Head Start and early Head Start programs. And they are working with actually some of the school districts to function, coordinate, eliminate some of duplications and that sort of stuff. So exciting times there. We're trying to eliminate duplication and work together with some of the school districts so that taxpayer money is spent very efficiently. They also did get last year Charlie, help me out. The elderly, senior, what was it? That group you work with?
The Central Minnesota Council on Aging.
Central Minnesota Council of Aging, and they are working with transportation, and they've gotten a number of volunteers to help drive seniors around, something that Health and Human Services gave up for the volunteer drivers. So it's kind of being done over there now. Anybody interested in volunteer driving, you can contact Wright County Community Action. But they're working on trying to help fill some of the gaps in places that are currently being missed for transportation for seniors and those in needs of help.
Their phone number is 320-963-6500.
God, you're good, Charlie.
Just helping you out.
I know.
What was your phone number back at? No.
Actually know that too.
I know my first one.
2122.
202.
2122.
No, mine was orange 392.
Anything else?
Nope, go ahead.
Last week on Wednesday, they had the all-school safe school meeting, which I attended, which was very good. Did a good presentation on e-cigarettes and the impacts in the schools and the devices they're using and the differences between the devices. I learned a lot. I didn't even know anything about those devices, and they're trying to be more aggressive on trying to get them out of the schools and to stopping youth from using them. The other presentation was on school threats and letting everyone know what the process that happens to youth when they make these threats, from the minute they make the phone call or make the Facebook post to law enforcement's actions to the attorney's office all the way to probation, what follows up on the backside, and what the schools do in the process in between. Wanting to get the word out to these kids that they're taking this very serious, and it's going to be very costly, and it's going to be very traumatic if you make these type of threats to schools.
Did I know the legislators and senators passed the some money available for improvement of security at schools. Did that make it? Did the governor sign that particular one?
I think that was part of what was vetoed.
Was that part of it? Okay. I just remember that they had set money aside to improve security in the schools in Minnesota in general.
I believe that was what was vetoed.
That was
amongst
vetoed.
a lot of things that were vetoed.
I couldn't remember. I know there were some things that went out on their own and some things that were packaged in on the whole budget thing. So. Okay. Well, hopefully next year they'll have that available for. Is that it?
That's it.
Commissioner Potter?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Last week we had, Charlie and I had owners committee meeting at the Justice Center. It's probably, I'd say, a few days ahead of schedule. They got done with the second elevator bank of blocks up, and now the steel was being staged and is going to be erected this week here, and that. So it's starting to look like a building now. They were working on the third set of the elevator and the stairs that's on the southeast end, like the employee end. That was about 10 foot high last week, so it'll, a couple weeks that'll be done, and then they just fill in all the rest of it, and it's on schedule. We've been blessed with fairly decent weather, and when it does rain, it wasn't a washout, so they're able to get things going. The site looks dramatically different now than it did when it first started. I mean, it's actually starting to look like a building, which is good. It's come along, and still have the same time for us moving in, but that's just the way it is.
Do they have an idea when the tip-ups will start?
The tip-ups, they have to get the erected steel up first, and they get decking on certain floors, and then they tip-ups, I don't think they come in till
I don't recall. I have to pull the schedule.
October, November.
So that's all on schedule then?
Yeah, that's all on schedule.
Oh, no
So they gotta be
problems
tipped
there.
up, they gotta put those up, then they put the ceiling, the roof cap over it. It's just gonna take a little bit. But that was kind of a good update in that, and ask questions on, because they're pouring floors, they're putting the pans down for the floors, they've been gonna start pouring some of them, just to do a double check on all the core drills for the conduits, where they're gonna just double check that for the umpteenth time, just to make sure. They're gonna review that, and not only with Alan, but also with IT, and to make sure that just, let's know where everything's going, just to double check it, just because.
We're still on budget then too?
Oh, yeah, it's,
I know there was a couple of change
The
orders.
change order for the dirt came in less than we thought it was gonna be, came in actually about $26,000, and we
Oh, good.
authorized up to $50,000, because too many variables in there, came out to 26. The only change which was predictable, foreseeable, was the state plumbing codes, which, we anticipated a cost. And then when it gets down to the state, they give you the final, what they're gonna agree to, what they're not gonna agree to, and that was about a $41,000 change. Anticipated, it's part of when the contingency money, which every building has that. I mean, we had 1.5-inch conduit, and they decided they wanted 2-inch conduit, okay? What do? You're not gonna sit and argue, you're just gonna do it. And those have different costs for each one. But now we're out of the ground and up there, that should be the last of anything substantial that should come at us. The dirt was one, and the plumbing, just those things just happen in the course of a building, and especially when you have a state agency gets the final say on what you do in there. From now on, it's just minor if it's a type of outlet plug or something that some code changes in the meantime, because we are subject to the codes of the time when we're building it, not from the time we anticipated building it, from the time we actually pull the permit for it. That's just the way it is. The other thing is the Wright County Economic Development Partnership Board of Directors we had last Friday in Clearwater. It was basically discussing our budget stayed the same on that, and some of the help and some of the businesses coming forward and outreach to different businesses that are not only proposing income, but the existing ones. We have the revolving loan fund, which are all on schedule. They're all being paid. We got one that's going to drop off, so that'll free up more money for the revolving loan fund. And just how do we make Wright County better? How do we get ourselves on the map? We produced a video a little over a year ago about Wright County, and now with we're going to go for some grant money from the Initiative Foundation to make more of an enhanced one that includes the cities, like you get the drone flying around the city so you can kind of see which city it is, and a little bit spiel on each town of what's available there, because it seems like the online stuff versus the printed stuff seems to work better, like a YouTube type video. So we're looking into some of the costs of that, and more to come on that one. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Coordinator Kelly, do you have anything?
No real updates this week. Budgets.
Yeah, budget.
Yeah, the budgets.
Yeah, the budget.
And we do have one at 10:30?
30.
Yep.
All right. Does the press have anything they'd like to add?
No, not that I know of. Nothing too fantastic going on this week, so.
Well, you do a good job of providing information. Like the pictures of the veterans service officers.
Yeah, that was nice.
Getting that information out there so that we're letting those veterans know that we've got people to help them in any way that we can. So that was great. All right, we are adjourned at 9:49.